Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Old World Gamer along with Mr. Six Sev Cyrus, and welcome back to another Retro Indie Pixels podcast. We're sorry that we missed last week, but we're back again. Steve, you look so nervous, Steve.
There's so much stuff to talk about. I'm sorry.
We missed a lot of crap last week too, dude. Like, a lot of stuff.
And in most cases, we normally wouldn't cover a lot of this stuff. And there was something that we heard of last week that I'm not covering that I know of. And I know, wait, maybe you are covering it. I don't know. We'll find out later.
We'll find out.
First off, we're going to talk a little bit about Graveyard Keeper.
Ooh.
That's the lovely soundtrack that we're going to have for this week here.
Now, before we do that, change the properties because we gotta make sure we get the right one. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, because that's boom. Check out the dimmer. Look, hey, we got stuff. All right, we'll play.
We're gonna talk more about this game a little later. Just for now, and enjoy this music in the background.
Yeah, this will be our soundtrack of the week. Graveyard Keeper. Actually a pretty fun game, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Six is going to be playing this after the podcast is over, so...
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
If I wasn't working tomorrow, I would be totally there, dude.
It's alright. We'll have you on one of those streams one of these times.
Maybe.
Well, I probably should just get into it because there's a bunch of stuff from the Nintendo Direct that I would like to talk about. There's a few things that I want to talk about specifically, and we're going to cover those more in depth. But there are going to be quite a few honorable mentions here right at the beginning of the podcast for people who are excited about these kinds of things. I know someone in particular who is excited for this game that we're going to start off with from our huge Nintendo Direct yesterday. Splatoon 3 is confirmed.
Damn. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Everyone seemed to really love that. I guess it's the Nintendo's own Call of Duty if you think about it.
Yes, and that's why I might have been slightly surprised, but then I laid eyes upon what they want to do here, and I think people will really like it. So we're going to see that in 2022 as far as they're talking right now. There's a new desert locale. It's the same style of game as the previous entries as far as we know right now. That is about as much information as I can give you. And I should have prefaced this with, if you want to know more about any of this, please go watch the Direct. There's a lot of good stuff here this week. My mind is blown. Another one that I'm really excited for, and I know friends of mine like Mr. OWG here are really going to enjoy, and that's the Super Mario themed items coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh, that's all the way down there. Okay, we're skipping over. We'll get it. We're good. Should have went in a straight line, dude. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. We got to get through. You're right. One of the things in that list I am specifically covering. So I guess I should have done that, but nope. We're gonna continue with the honorable mentions because I didn't think about this and I just went. Sorry, guys. Fallout guys, it's coming to the Switch this summer.
Did you say Fallout guys?
I'm sorry, Fall Guys Ultimate. Yes.
Oh god, we're gonna play Fallout guys, so it's just a little bobblehead dudes just running over like...
I'm sorry, let me try to understand. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Oh my goodness, I don't know why that went so poorly for me, but there you go. If you like Smash Bros. Ultimate, there's new characters released. Cough, cough. I'm not boycotting or anything, but it's the same thing with the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity getting an expansion pass.
Well, I mean, you could briefly mention that it's going to be Pyra and Mythra from Xenoblade Chronicles that are coming to Smash. Apparently, it's a big thing. They've done a whole separate big trailer for it and stuff. I've seen a few different things about it too when I was looking for news.
there's a lot of hype surrounding Pyra and Mithra, and you're right, I shouldn't have just gone over it like that.
It's okay, man. Dude, listen. It's okay.
It's why you're here. Apparently there's going to be going back to the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, since there's not much else to say about Pyra and Mithra. The expansion pass will include 2 waves of content, with the first one launching this June and the other coming sometime in November. It costs $20 and pre-orders are now available. Pretty exciting there, I think. I think that we have one more honorable mention from this list, and then we're actually going to go into the things that I really want to cover. I didn't know if I was going to talk about this one in particular or not, but we're going to do it. Monster Hunter Rise. They released the most recent trailer for it, and it focuses on new story details and the monsters you'll encounter in the game. There were a lot of big monsters. There were a lot. For anyone who likes these games, that's why I'm like, I should probably say something at least, because
if I ever get a goddamn chance to play it again, oh my god, man. It's alright. I just gotta keep positive. I'm going back to the streaming soon.
Yes, keep it all positive. Alright, so I think that's about it from there. I'm going to drop one more that was kind of interesting, but we're not going to really talk about it. If you're interested in No More Heroes 3 will launch on August 27th. Maybe that's your jam. It looked pretty interesting, but there's really not much I can say about it from where I'm at, and there weren't many details released there. So we're going to move on to one of the things that I'm excited to like laser focus on from this Nintendo Direct. For a moment there, my mind went totally blank.
I was like, what's he doing?
I'm not used to Nintendo doing these things. My mind flashes back to being a kid. Mega Man 4, that's already on the shelf. I haven't heard about any new Mega Man games yet, and it just blows my mind the way that works now. So, if you guys remember Legend of Mana, the classic PS1 title, it's coming to Nintendo Switch. This title, I recently played it. It was 4 or 5 years ago-ish, maybe now. I'm not sure. I played the original, and I enjoyed it a lot. So when I saw the art for this, I was like, I'm covering this. But if you guys can't remember, it's a Square Enix title that was released in 1999. And with a title like Legend of Mana, this game is crazy. It sold incredibly well back in '99. Sales hitting almost 500,000 units in the first week.
I actually don't have that game.
I don't either, and now I want it. But that's Switch release. Here you go.
That's true. But I want the original, Steve.
I understand. Well, in yesterday's Nintendo Direct, it has been announced that Legend of Mana is coming to the much-beloved Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Mana Switch is based on the 4th game in the Mana series, which I did not know, following Trials of Mana from 1995. It's set in a fantasy world where the game follows an unnamed hero as they restore the land of Fadiel. The goal is to restore the Tree of Mana by completing a number of quests across the world. And as someone who's played this game, to anyone who's never played it before, some of this stuff is going to seem incredibly random. Just going to point that out.
You know, I did get Jones Soda for this podcast and forgot all about it.
I have no special drinks, so I'm just going to frown and continue reading my article. The pixelated action RPG is a nostalgic hit for retro gamers, and the real-time battles and modern touch with the Joy-Cons should get Legend of Mana fans very excited. Can we please expound upon modern touch with the Joy-Cons? Please, thank you. One of the most memorable parts of Legend of Mana was the fact that you could follow the story in a non-linear fashion by finding artifacts and placing them randomly onto a map to unlock that section. The section you chose can now be explored to find even more artifacts, which is... It's about as random as an RPG can get for that reason. But that's part of the fun. It's literally... if you've ever read one of those adventure books where you choose your own adventure, this is kind of choose when the story happens RPG. I guess it's not really choose your own adventure, it's choose when you adventure. But anyway,
kind of
the more
sounds like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes, actually, that's quite similar. And the article continues here in saying that the more artifacts you find, the more you can explore in order to restore the Tree of Mana. And this exploration mode is called the Land Make system. It lets players do what they want instead of concentrating on a strong storyline. Which again, very much like Tactics, like Mr. Odubs was talking about there. So, good pointing out, because right in the same vein of thought with the article here. So throughout your journey through the world, you will come across puzzles, quests, fearsome monsters for you to overcome. It uses a top-down perspective with sprites as characters, giving them that old-school look. You're assisted by 2 companions, one being a support character and the other being a pet, or some kind of monster golem that helps you on your adventure. Now, I didn't know you could have a support character. Maybe I'm forgetting something. No, I think I remember. Jeez, it was late game that I was having 2 units at the same time with me. So bear with me on that one, guys. I do want to kind of brush over the article's next line here. The graphic design is incredibly nostalgic, but that doesn't really talk about how the update or the port really makes the game look like an HD version of the original without like trying super hard. Like the original sprites, not the original. Yeah, sure. No, the sprites for the remake are really close to the originals, and so are the backgrounds and stuff. Yeah. It's like they've been touched up and refined for a more modern system to display them. It's, I guess, the best way I could describe that. It looks really fluid. It looks both nostalgic and like newer at the same time. So it blew my mind. Like I said, I wish I had a picture here to show you. But no, the next thing that we're going to talk about with this one is that apparently, for some odd reason, it got a mini game. It's kind of like Tamagotchi, and those kind of.
I was going to say they've done something similar with what was it called? Chocobo Dungeon, was it? Didn't that come with one of the other PlayStation games or something? Or yeah,
that did. So. And then there was also that game that the companion game for Final Fantasy VIII that most people didn't have pocket stations for in the U.S.
What?
It was a Chocobo game where the Chocobo wandered and picked up items.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm pretty sure it was called Chocobo Dungeon or something like that.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I wouldn't be surprised if you were right. No, I bet this was something that was released in Japan and never came to the States.
Big surprise.
It's really interesting to see these things filter their way through 30, 40 odd years later. Yeah, Retro Dodo covered this article, and that's when I knew I was going to be getting balls deep into the Nintendo Direct this week, and I was like, no, I don't want to. So for anyone who's worried there's a little too much Nintendo, I'm sorry. Everybody wants to buy Nintendo stuff. Speaking of, if you were a fan of Zelda Skyward Sword, we have an HD coming to the Nintendo Switch in July.
Alright, I'm going to grab my Jones soda while you cover this, sir.
Figures.
I'm gonna be gone like a second. Jesus Christ, Superstar.
Zelda's Skyward Sword Switch Edition is finally coming to your beloved Nintendo Switch. That's right, in today's 50-minute long Nintendo Direct. One of the last things announced was one of that was, honestly, I don't think a lot of people saw this one coming. Personally, I didn't expect something like this, especially considering its control functions. The original Zelda Skyward Sword was released in 2011 for the Nintendo Wii, and its biggest selling point was the fact that you could use the sword and shield as the Nintendo Wiimote, letting you hack and slash your way through the game. And this is exactly what I was talking about, why I didn't expect this to find its way to the Switch, because its control settings are... well, it's kind of hard to take what you're doing on the Wiimote and do something meaningful on your Switch controller.
Yes, but apparently a lot of people said that when they put it back out on the Wii U, it played a lot better, and people were much happier with its response to the controller now.
And I think that's part of the reason why it's getting some love here is because Nintendo feels like we didn't give gamers that really good experience of this game that we're talking about. And for anyone who's here at the stream for the podcast, you're using your right thumbstick, and whatever slash direction you make is how you're gonna attack in the game. And for me, that is a great way to take everything that you're doing wrong or not perfectly, or you want to do better in your older iterations, and it just culminates in this is as close to control wise you're gonna get a feeling for the player to experience a sword swing that isn't gonna have ridiculous consequences. So as far as that goes, I'm really excited. I hope they don't have to port it again, because it seems like that would change the way players perceive this game and make it easier to deal with as far as its clunky control scheme.
Well, how many ports do they need of this? Jesus.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The third one should be the master port, right? Like, this is the version that we're going to send to everything from now on. So, July 16th, 2021, you'll be able to do all those hack and slash fun things in full HD using your Joy-Cons.
Oh, I will.
I bet you will. For those that are new to Zelda Skyward Sword, it's basically another traditional Zelda game where you take the role of Link, who ventures through monster-infested worlds. It's all the same world! Don't overgeneralize, article writer. I'm sorry, you're killing. Of course, you'll find your dungeons, puzzles, and big challenging bosses, which those are things that you'd expect in a kind of adventure-y game.
Thirsty ass bitch.
Exactly. For those that have played Zelda Breath of the Wild, you will see a bunch of familiar features, such as the glider and the stamina bar, as this is where they originated from, which is probably part of the reason they want it to be on the Switch, is because they want to be able to put it right next to a Breath of the Wild 1 and 2, which, spoiler alert, they reconfirmed that, so if anyone was like Zelda news, make sure you pop in here, and I will say that again just real quick. They reconfirmed Breath of the Wild 2. Keep your pants on, kids. We'll see it eventually. In the meantime, we got this. Which, like I said, has a lot to do with the controls and some of the art style. And some of the more complex story, I guess I could also say. One of the things that I really enjoy talking about the control scheme and stuff, it'll be able to be played in portable mode because I can slash my sword like this. Just a short little flick of the...
A flick of the wrist?
The stick. Yeah, no, it's of the analog stick. But that's really nice because there's no reason to lock this to the Switch console as a whole, and O-Dubs is over there being goofy again. I love it.
I love it, he says.
Now, to hurt your wallets if you didn't already have wallet hurt. What? It comes with Joy-Cons.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, okay. They look nice too,
It doesn't come with Joy-Cons, but Joy-Cons are attached to this game. And we don't know how much they cost yet, but, I mean, there you go.
Steve, I already have to buy a fucking Mario Switch and a Nintendo Crossing Switch. Why are you doing this? Why?
There's other Switches that I'm not even going to cover. Like, I know of one that'll just make you upset, so I'm just gonna move on.
I already know too. It's the fucking Stardew Valley one.
No! Of course he would know. I did not want to say those words because Let's move on from there to one of my other big pieces of I wanted to cover this from the Direct.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone out there is a fan of, say, Mario Golf.
Toadstool Tour?
We have Mario Golf Super Rush. And it's arriving June 25th.
Although I will say it's weird to see Mario wearing the golfing clothes. It looks really fucking weird. Like, it's tripping me out. Luigi looks fine and normal. For some reason, yeah, Mario looks like he's like right out of place.
Peach looks fine too, but you know Toad looks super out of place. He's got like that vest on. Oh man, that's not. Something weird's going on there. Just Super Saiyan. No, I'm kidding.
You gotta power up for that.
There's a couple of things here that I want to mention because...
Wow, Game Hunter just checked. $80 at Target. You can pre-order. Okay, now, here's the question though, Game Hunter. Is that the Joy-Cons and game or just the Joy-Cons? If it was just the Joy-Cons, you can eat my dick, Nintendo. There's too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as we get that information...
Yeah.
So, there's a couple things here. Oh, it's just the Joy-Cons? Okay, so Nintendo's gouging our eyes out there.
Wow. Bunch of assholes.
We'll move on from that now. There's some good stuff about this Mario Golf. First off, there is a single-player story mode, which means you can improve the stats of your Mii character and play along with your favorite characters, like, do tourneys and challenge them instead of just being Mario or Luigi all the time. But there are even more details on top of that. There's a speed golf mode. So when you're playing multiplayer, there's no waiting for Carl or Bob to go before Old World Gamer can go. Carl and Bob and Old World Gamer can all hit the ball at the same exact time.
Fuck you, Carl and Bob!
And then dash out to their ball and hit it again with no delay other than their character getting from where they are to the ball. There are some mechanics that have been added with this. I don't know too many details on those, but the idea is this sounds really fun, and for a game like Mario Golf, being able to take turns simultaneously, I didn't know I needed it so bad, but this makes me want to play more golf. Anybody else?
I've already liked Mario Golf anyways. Big fan, yes. Always will be, and this just makes me very happy. It just means I have another game to buy on Switch. There's not a small list of those already. Like, seriously, the world is like, just how much money can we suck out of people who are gamers? Let me count the ways.
Well, that's going to be fun. We're definitely going to be playing this, probably live on stream, some of us.
At some point, yeah. 100%.
Holy crap. We're almost out of news from the Direct. We're getting there, guys. Yes, golf. Hi, Peter. Welcome to the podcast. We're going to move on to Outer Wilds here, which I don't really have an article for. So we're kind of looking at the Steam here, and I had never heard of this game. Apparently it's been around since 2019. It was released June 18th of last year, but the Switch picked it up. So Outer Wilds brings you a game of you're in a solar system. This solar system keeps resetting every 22 minutes. You have to figure out what's going on to get out.
Oh, so it's basically a Star Trek episode? Love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Every 22 minutes.
I'm totally down, dude. I'm such a nerd. I don't care.
If this is multiplayer when it hits Switch, I want to play it's not multiplayer on Steam, unfortunately. If it gets multiplayer on Switch, I want to play this with some buddies, because that makes that a whole lot more fun sounding. Really not much more to say about this game than just that concept of it is basically a Star Trek episode. Here you go, do you survive? And for me, that's like, I gotta find out. I don't know about anybody else, but $25 for a ticket to figure that out. What's that?
We're stuck in time loop.
No.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to this. Hopefully I will get to play it, but I'm definitely going to at least watch someone play it. That's gonna happen for me. Very interesting and different game. Good to see something really out of the blue indie getting onto the Switch there. That's really out of the blue indie. It really is. So these next two, I don't really know how I want to cover, because there are no informations outside of the Nintendo Direct. So you could probably just play the videos as you please there, and I'll try and cover these games as that happens. The first game, Project Triangle Strategy, which is a working title. It's we're not going to call it the sequel to Octopath Traveler, but it's made by the same studio and they're using some of the same concepts. One of the most important things about this game that I want to share with people that makes me very interested in this title is that there are three factors. Your decisions fall in one of three categories, and you always have to make these decisions. Your gameplay is always going to be affected by which category you make these decisions in. One of them is pragmatic. I'm just looking at the video there as it's replaying on the stream. But the whole idea is that you're going to have a lot more styles of gameplay. Or not more styles, a lot of replayability, a lot of different storytelling to that basic game. And I really think this is a worthwhile thing to try and do. It's definitely different, and I would really like to see where this game goes, because of something so simple as your choices can affect the story in these many ways.
Yeah, I want to play this shit. I still want to play Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
This looks even better. Like, I don't know. I want to play
this is like Octopath Traveler plus some, and that's why I'm like, yes, we need to talk about that concept at the very least. Very interested in that. Very different as far as mainstream RPGing goes. I want to see more of this in the future. Actually, I don't have the link up anymore. I closed it. Did it say when it's coming out there or no? Kinda.
Working title 2022. Demo available now, though.
That's right. The demo is out now, and they want to do a survey and get some feedback for this one. So this is one of the reasons why I want to shout this one out, because you may affect some things with that game if you take part in the survey. I mean, who knows? Go play the demo and form opinions and enjoy the gameplay, I suppose. Very exciting, different project. You're still looking forward to it. On the other hand, we're going to go back with this last piece from the Direct to something very, very old. Oh, I didn't know, before we move on, I didn't know the makers of Bravely Default worked on Octopath as well as that gem. My mind is blown. I'm sorry. I'm not used to games with working titles where the gameplay is more compelling than the title. Mind blown. But yeah, no, that's going to be interesting. And like I said, on the other hand, Nintendo did something really weird here. I'm like looking at the camera and trying to find out why specifically two old Famicom titles. They're called Detective Club games. Let me see if I can like Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir, Famicom Detective Club: The Girl Who Stands Behind. These are point and
just came
click
up on screen.
adventure games. Yeah. This is not what you'd expect. I mean, there were other point and click games on the console. I'm thinking specifically of Shadowgate, but there were others. I guess I'm just surprised that one of those old point and clicks would get this kind of love. It really feels more like a visual novel, the way that they've...
But it doesn't look terrible. Like, it looks really well done.
I say that with a lot of respect because visual novels look beautiful. It's just there's no gameplay generally.
Yeah.
At least with this, you're trying to figure something out. There's an intrigue of story. And yes, Game Hunter brings up that these are like the Phoenix Wright series. There is a lot in common with that kind of theme. I really like the idea of this, and I'm probably going to play these, mostly because point-and-click adventure...
Plus Steve equals good time.
Yes. Available May 14th. Alright, we're past the Direct. It took way more time than I wanted it to. And imagine if I covered the whole thing, by the way. There was a lot that I just did not stop and drop to cover, and I apologize to anyone who might have wanted to see those things. Again, you can @ me on Twitter, 6fcyrus, and tell me, hey, can you feature more of these things that you didn't? I want to hear about these as well, and I can always try and add more stuff in. Jeremy, you missed the 10 seconds I talked about Splatoon 3 because there wasn't a whole lot of gameplay or anything, so I apologize. Gotta cater to the live viewers there. I'm sorry to the After the Fact podcast viewers that we had some excitement in the chat. You guys heard of the Polymega?
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, see, I haven't heard of no Polymega.
Oh, actually, I think I have.
I believe it's been covered, has it not?
It might have been covered when they first started talking about it, maybe? So that was a while ago.
I don't know what this is here. I just saw what this was, and I wanted to cover it because they're trying to... Nintendo Life Retro is trying
to... viewer? What?
Yeah, I don't know what Jeremy's going on about there. This is being pieced out as or called out as an all-in-one retro machine. So let's get into this article here because I need details. This review was originally published on August 11th, 2020, hasn't been updated to factor in our impressions of the SNES, Mega Drive, and T16 element modules, as well as their respective controllers. This review now also takes into account the final retail firmware for the Polymega system. So there's details here that weren't previously released, and I'm excited to cover some of this stuff. This system was announced back in 2017 as the Retro Blocks. Polymega has endured a fairly tumultuous journey to market. While the system's objective has always been the same, to offer players the chance to access software for a wide range of cartridge and CD-based retro consoles in one place, we've seen a lot of changes over the past few years. FPGA support was dropped early on, something which caused a lot of consternation amongst potential buyers. Accustomed to the impeccable performance of Analogue's excellent Super NT and Mega SG, and then the system missed its proposed early 2019 release window. Pre-orders opened, but the launch was pushed back again and once more at the close of 2020. At the time of writing, which of course is early 2021, the machine still isn't in the hands of those who laid down their money all those months ago. But with the final retail unit now in our hands, it would seem the end is in sight. Having said all of this, creating and launching a piece of gaming hardware isn't an easy process for a big company, let alone a relatively new one like California-based Playmaji, the team behind the Polymega. And despite the setbacks and delays, this team has persevered. 2 waves of beta systems were put into the hands of testers all over the globe to speed things up. We were lucky enough to be included in that second beta test group. Darn you, Nintendo Life.
Yeah, they've been around forever, though, dude. There's a good reason for that. Don't worry, one day we'll get those. Well, sometimes we have gotten those. Mega Cat has been very nice to me. They've given me a lot of different stuff. So, and I'm gonna go out of my way to buy a couple more of their games before I do an event where I play a bunch of their games for like an entire month. So,
oh, that's gonna be amazing. Hype to that.
Well, like I said, the nice thing about Mega Cats, they like to release everything as a physical copy, and being a collector, that sounds fantastic. So. This does not look like a terrible idea, though. The Polymega is... Wow.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to take a pause here anyway, and just, they're trying to pack an awful lot into one system, and the TG16 element modules have my attention. I want to know what the final price on this is, and I'm trying not to, read ahead in the article, but from what the image that's first shown here, it looks like a really clean system. So while I might be as frustrated as some of the people who put their money down for this to exist, I can understand why it took so long. It's not just something that you can just make. And now we're going to get back to Nintendo Life wanting to pass their judgment on the pre-release package and the impressions of the final retail system that we're all hoping to get our hands on very soon. Yeah, when I read this price, I'm going to die a little inside. It's perhaps worth talking about how this machine actually works and how it will run your beloved retro collection. The base Polymega system, $449, which is $50 more expensive than the initial advertised. Again, one of those things, it's harder to make than you'd think. It comes with a CD drive and will play Sega Saturn, Sony PlayStation, Sega Mega CD, Neo Geo CD, PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16 CDs from all regions, cartridge-based platforms, NES, SNES, Mega Drive, 32X, PC Engine, and TG16 will be playable using optional element modules, each of which has to be purchased separately at a cost of $80 and come with their own custom controller based on the pads used with the original machines. So half of what you're paying there is the controller.
Yeah, and the dock to be able to play those games. But if that's one for each initial system, that's... I don't want to say it's not cheap, but I don't know. It's the same thing as going out and get one of the... Let's see. There's so many different ways that you can view this. It's nice, and it's enraging at the same time, because they're doing a smart thing by making people pay money for the modules. Because if you want one... Yeah.
Sorry. I wanted to say that there are functions that I would like to see in this as a base, like all of the TurboGrafx and the PC Engine stuff, because then you can really charge that and be like, hey, look, it's doing all these things as a base plus everything else. This is a really a hardcore system. I understand why they're doing it the way that they have to, or the way that they are because they have to. But just in general, this concept is really nice. I mean, paying half of that for the controller that's based... And if you look up at the picture on the article, that Polymega controller for SNES looks as good as a SNES controller did. Maybe even a little better. I would have to press those buttons to know for sure if it was as good. But
so, let me just chime in here real quick. Oh,
sure.
deadly. You got an extra controller. So, have you ever played TurboGrafx 16, Steve?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't. Is there something I'm missing there?
No, it's been a while since I've played one. Anyone who has one or has seen one, maybe look one up on Google. If I'm not mistaken, there's 2 buttons. Button 1 and button 2. On Nintendo, there are 2 buttons. A and B. Pretty sure on the Sega Master System, there was also the same thing. Now, the Mega Drive had 3, so... Yes.
No,
Liz,
the Master System.
I'm very happy tonight.
He is just having a good old time.
I will, yeah.
There's part of this though that I want to point out even further. It's got HDMI output.
That is nice. Especially if you're going from the retro stuff to TV. I'm just wondering, are they scaling it or are they just stretching it?
It's nice, but it's also questionable. I would have to see what the finished product is on that, and that's unfortunately it's pricey enough. We're probably not just going to get to find out.
Personally, I think that some of these retro system makers, something that they should take into consideration is keep the 4:3 aspect ratio. Find something so that you can slide the whole damn thing over into one spot. Then you'll have a bar on the side. Oh, no one wants to have a black bar on the side. Alright, find something to put in it. Maybe there's a list of your games. Maybe you can have the time. Maybe you can load up some music or something. Get options. I mean, there's got to be shit that you can put in there that... I mean, it has a network port for an Ethernet, so I mean... It can get weather for your local area. It can, again, anything. I'm just shooting at anything at this point because why not? I mean, you can have it full screen and then you don't stretch it and make it look all shitty and fucky. So,
what about having the title screen or concept art of your game? Those are things that you could put there. Oh my gosh. Even having a colored in box that says, "We're sorry. You'll never have 4.3 and 1080 or something silly like that would fill the space and people would probably be okay with it.
Maybe.
There's a lot good and bad about this, and from here, like, I want specifics, but it looks like that is blocked behind walls of text, so if you look, this article goes on, and I didn't actually, like...
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the modules there, if you see the picture on screen right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so they are for each one. They literally are. It's PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16.
I don't hate this. These modules are slick and clean.
True, but then you gotta be like, oh, I don't want to play my Sega anymore. I don't want to play Super Nintendo. Hold on, let me take out this mouse, put on another one, let's plug in the controller. Alright, now let's go get the game, put it in.
Yeah.
But for EverDrive owners, this could be a lot of fun too. It's basically having a console EverDrive, which
it really
is not terrible.
Like I said, I like the way that these almost stack like in a hard drive fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having a bunch of big, old, bulky systems, you have a streamlined one that can take your cart and your controllers, and you can easily put away and keep safe or dust free or whatever you need to, and it doesn't have a sleek ergonomic design that you have to worry about getting broken. that's a factor there that I really like. And again, half that price is going to the one controller. Man, I wish this was cheaper at its base, but a lot of what's going on here, we've kind of needed this because no one's out there, you know. People are out there mass producing remake systems, but are they really trying to jam as many into one as possible and trying to make it so it's more simplified for the user? No, not really.
Well, maybe they're showing another controller here, which I assume is a PC Engine TurboGrafx 16, and it looks a lot more like it would be for Sega Genesis. Like it's 3 buttons. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was 3 buttons. I knew it was either 2 or 3. I couldn't remember. I thought it was 2.
The Genesis one, if you're looking, that's from those 4 pictures of controllers.
Oh yeah, the Genesis one is a 6 button with the ABC XYZ.
Yeah.
That was a nice controller.
I can see paying $40 for these controllers compared to modern controllers. So I just want to make sure people who can't see these things understand why we're doting on them a little, because it's nice
for anyone listening to the podcast later, definitely go and check out the Nintendo Life article on the Polymega, because it has a lot of information. It has a lot of pictures, all the controllers, the modules, a lot of information about the system, where it came from, all of its like specs and stuff. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't cover all this information. This is the longest article I've yet seen for the podcast, and
it's a lot of information, though, dude, and good information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cat stream.
Kitsune.
Apparently, it's got an M2 SSD in this thing. I guess each module would have that.
No, I would say it's the main part, because the modules probably just snap in and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Come to think of it, if you see the stack of modules and then you see the bottom of the system, there's definitely like that. It's like a boot. I don't have any other ways to describe that. It's like it's a covering for the bottom of the system. You like snap it in at the bottom. That is not what I expected, but again, it's a nice way to work out that problem.
Slide to lock. Oh wow, that's what it is. Okay.
Oh really?
Yeah, if you look at the Polymega part, just the bottom part, those modules take up half the top part of it. So, and it just says there's a slide to lock, so it literally goes along those 2 tracks and slides right into their slot. That's a smart feature for the fact that way you're not going to be trying to jam it in that slot and miss along the slot or break the little, I guess, piece that goes into the slot from each module. So that's a really nice way to, plus a lot more stability, basically, without having to worry about damaging the system. Because, I mean, think about it, you are paying $500 for this fucking thing, and that's probably American. So, like, $700 here in Canada, never getting one unless Polymega really likes us for some reason.
On the other hand, a lot of your stuff is going to plug into this. Like, if you happen to have your old PS2 stuff, this doesn't cover PS2, your old PlayStation 1 controllers, you plug that into the thing. You don't need their controller. You have your own in some cases. So,
hold on.
Some instances you're paying for functionality. Hold on.
Playmagy has been very clear on the fact that you won't be able to simply dump a bunch of ROMs onto the console via USB or microSD. The system also won't work with flash cartridges such as the EverDrive range.
This thing's getting hacked.
Yeah, someone is going to break your system, Polymega. By locking people out, you're literally asking for someone to hack your system and make it better. Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. You basically said we know all these games are disclaimed and stuff, but we believe in copyrights. It's basically what they're saying, and I'm like, On the other hand, there's a lot that's good about this. Yeah, I know. There's still a lot good about this. Hopefully they change their tune. If not, the thing is getting hacked, and we're gonna get the retro console of our dreams, the retro multi-console, really. But yeah, no, go check this out. This is a thing, and maybe you can change their opinion if you go out there and be like, no, don't be terrible. Just let us do it natively. If you want to like have that be a feature that we pay extra for, people will pay extra for it. Okay, I'm done. That last detail, I was really happy about this, and then I wasn't as happy, so I had to have that piece. Sorry.
I have to have that piece.
Moving right on. I can't believe I've done this to myself. Analogue explains how it's going to deal with scalping amid concerns over pocket pre-orders. Hey, remember, we were talking about these things before. Do you remember these things, guys?
I don't know how to stop concerns. Listen, we will keep making these until people don't want them anymore. That's it. That way you never have to buy off some dirty-ass scalper. That...
The man needs all the claps. The truth cannot be more said than the way it was just said. But apparently, they've taken careful action to address bots. What, you mean like Sony? I'm sorry. Don't get called out or anything. Okay, I think I'm past that. Don't mind me. Thanks to the current pandemic, more of us are relying on online retailers than ever. True facts. And whilst we can't always use traditional retailers, scalping has gotten worse. Between recent drama surrounding the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S launches, Switch supply problems, and even McDonald's Happy Meals, nothing is safe from greedy resellers. McDonald's Happy Meals? You guys have nothing better to do than go scalp McDonald's Happy Meals?
Well, okay, hold on. We have to touch on that for a second. Because there's a link for it, and I'm scared to go see what this is. Are there someone out there like, oh, I'm going to go and bag a Happy Meal from like 1996. I'm going to seal it up and vacuum seal it, put it in my freezer, and keep it until 2021. Then I'm going to sell it and be like, hey, you want a 1996 fresh McDonald's like Big Mac? Or even better yet, if they had like McDonald's pizza. Anyway, sorry. Keep going, my bad.
Boy, if I could type !barf in chat right now, it's Pokemon stuff that they're after.
Wait.
Just so everybody knows, that's what's going on with the McDonald's Happy Meals. A kid already did that as a science fair project.
What?
This podcast is way off course all of a sudden, but I need to... Would you like to know more? Yes, that's me. Vacuumed up a McDonald's...
But no, you vacuum seal it, and then you can freeze it for as long as you want. Can you still eat it again? More than likely. No. Yes, man. It's been vacuum sealed and frozen.
You may have just started something you can't control, Stefan. I'm going to say your name on that one because I'm giving you the eyes. This wasn't a thing before, and I'm going to go out there in the future and see people buying these meals like this, and my response is going to be, no.
I don't even think it was sealed. Ew.
No.
No, I know they've done science fair projects where they lift it to see how long it would actually go bad and stuff. That apparently McDonald's fries are indestructible or something. Like they can't go bad or something weird.
Yes. Somehow the beef fats that they use mix with the potatoes, and as long as they're never consumed by a human, they will last for all of eternity. I've seen it too many times. Can we not talk about
Yeah, let's, yeah, anyways, that's sorry, yeah.
The Analog Pocket, let's just say COVID has made some weird things happen. The Analog Pocket has seen similar supply issues too, up for pre-order in August 2020 before selling out in several minutes. Offering an FPGA-based setup, it can play over 2,780 Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, and has become highly sought after. Yes. Do you know of many systems that can play almost 3,000 games?
Do you?
Nope. As fans patiently waited the second flood of Pocket pre-orders, Analogue confirmed its supply chain had been impacted by the global pandemic, releasing a new announcement earlier today. I don't think this was today. Spoiler alert. No. I'm not exactly sure when this was. The current global state of affairs
Tuesday.
Has resulted...
2 days ago.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Has resulted in consequences that have affected the worldwide supply chain, and this has temporarily slowed our ability to keep many of our products, Super NT, Mega SG, and reduced production capacity for Pocket. Wow. We are aware that many users are frustrated that Pocket pre-orders sold out quickly, and both Super NT and Mega SG are currently unavailable. Pocket is not a limited edition product. See below for a description of all terminology Analog products are presented in. More Pockets will be available for purchase in 2021. With all things considered, we will be doing our best to keep Pocket in stock in 2021. Please sign up for a stock notification at analog.co/store, and you will be sent an email when Pocket will be available to purchase. Bear with us during these unusual times, and know that we're doing our best to get everything in stock or available for pre-order as soon as possible. Okay, what you need to do is start sending out codes to people, and if they don't come back within a certain amount of time with that code, they don't buy the product. I'm not even kidding. I know that sounds terrible, but the demand for these is so high. Instead of sending out a notification that I might never get, why don't you send me an email with a code I might never get that will actually get me a chance to get the product, instead of, by the time you read this email, you're screwed. You know what I mean? You gotta have something better than this. They're trying, I get that, and I understand that, but this feels like we're applying a Band-Aid to a bleeding, gaping, arterial wound, and we're gonna call it good. You're gonna have a lot of angry people if you keep doing this. And again, it's a global pandemic. I understand it's not easy. But you're gonna have to try harder in the future if things keep going the way they're going. Because people are not going to simply take we're gonna send you an email when stuff's in stock. That's not... These products are too popular. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I think anyone who knows what we're talking about here can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, almost 3,000 games that these things can play.
Yeah.
Within this announcement, Analog outlined measures it is taking to tackle scalpers and bots. Without specifying to the exact technology used, the announcement simply confirmed it will be implementing robust bot protection to help prevent bots from making purchases and canceling those orders which do slip through. As for scalpers, Analog plans to actively monitor resale websites like eBay, reporting any pre-order listings it spots. However, how effective this will be is another matter. But considering widespread frustrations with these resellers, it's reassuring Analog is taking these steps. Now, that's that's a little more proactive. I haven't heard of anyone going to resale websites and reporting illegitimate, overpriced resales. I can't believe there's so much controversy surrounding something from the Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, like era.
People like their handhelds, dude.
Related.
And that's a really nice, like, sleek handheld, too.
Yes, it is. I want one. Well, that's all we have to say about that. I want one. No, hopefully they can keep these in stock, and anyone who we know who's been turned on to these, hopefully they get their copies, because I want to know more about these and how people like them.
Yeah, really, though.
You guys want to hear something really weird and different?
Okay.
This article is not my normal cup of tea here.
Are we going to our next one here?
Yes, sir. Totally random. A talented hacker bumps the frame rate of SNES race driving from 4 FPS to 30. I want to watch like the video here as I talk about this. No button. Race driving is considered an arcade classic in some quarters, which made it its SNES port extremely disappointing back in '92. Offering a meager 4 frames per second, that edition was widely slated, but now one software engineer has reverse engineered it to run at a significantly enhanced 30 FPS. This comes from Vitor Vilela, who previously undertook SNES rewrites for Super R-Type and Contra 3, removing slowdown issues that affected those ports. By using this approach, Vitor's been able to improve race driving's awful frame rate. It's done through Nintendo's SA1, or Super Accelerator 1 enhancement chip, which offered faster clock speeds and more RAM. As such, this goes beyond your standard retroactive upgrades, like, say, SNES ray tracing? What? Article writer, thank you for confusing. SA1 was only used in a select few SNES games across 1995 to 97, such as Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, and Kirby Superstar. Considering it arrived later in the SNES lifecycle, it's certainly interesting to see what benefits it can bring to earlier games.
That is kind of nice. Oh!
Do you want to know what he's working on next?
Yeah, that's what I was just reading. I was like, oh! Fuck.
He's working on increasing the frame rate for Star Fox, the original. Yeah, this is cool stuff. I like to see people going back and looking at retro and, can I make something that turned out bad better with existing SNES technology in this case? But you know what I mean. This is it's refreshing to see a completely different perspective. Some SNES hardware is capable of basic ray trace lighting. Some games have been modded to support... Okay, thank you, Peter, for anyone who didn't know about the basic ray trace lighting. There you go. Really appreciate that, Peter. That comes through at a shining moment. Hey, speaking of Star Fox, do you guys want to talk about Dinosaur Planet? Which, you're like, what are you talking about? Well, the making of Star Fox Adventures, the game that was once Dinosaur Planet, is what we're looking at here next. Last week, we got the news that a playable version of Dinosaur Planet had leaked on the web, giving us a hands-on look at the game, which eventually became Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube. therefore, we thought you might like to revisit this place from 2012, in which we spoke to the game's lead software engineer, Phil Tossell. I would like to talk about this. I mean, it's a rare game. It's Star Fox.
Did you see how long this article was, sir?
Is this another super long?
Oh, yeah, just scan down a little bit for yourself.
Well, I guess we're not going to cover this one in super detail. But I guess they had a real in-depth talk with...
well, they were interviewing the lead software engineer, so...
And again, the article itself is old, and I didn't realize that. I got tricked by fancy article writing, or title writing in the article. But the idea that Rare took an original title and then made it Star Fox Adventures alone makes this interesting enough to talk about. But then they go back and they make Dinosaur Planet. I'm really confused. If you look at this, it's really pretty. Oh god. They have a 50-minute video of this. I guess it's not really... They went back and made it. This is what it would have been if it had been released as Dinosaur Planet. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, it's the prototype. Damn.
And it looks like a lot of what's going on there is very similar to the game it became. I feel like they added the Star Fox to make it I don't want to say more marketable, but more likable. Does that make sense?
There could be a dozen different... Well, I'm sure somewhere in the article it probably says why they changed it.
Unfortunately, the article's just a little bit bigger than we want it to be. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I saw this and was a little more zealous than I should have been. It's like once every podcast, I have like one article that was not quite what I expected. This time it's two. According to legend, Shigeru Miyamoto was shown footage of Dinosaur Planet and suggested that the game should be retooled to incorporate Fox McCloud and Company. Well, there you go.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the misstep on this one.
It's okay, dude. It's okay, man.
It's still interesting to talk about. There's some interesting lore there. And if you have any details you want me to add, you can add me on Twitter and I can revisit this subject. Maybe a little more focused instead of just, this happened. It's definitely interesting. It's not what you'd expect, you know? To see that a game gets completely rebranded like that. Especially a Nintendo game. I think that's where I'm going to end off on that. You don't see many games get rebranded, especially Nintendo. So
it's a conversation to be had.
Oh, I'm sure it happens an awful lot, Peter, but we normally don't get to hear about it. Alright, so we've gotten through the bulk of my articles. Let's move on here. I've kind of gone a little faster through some of this than I expected, but that's
no
okay.
Big deal, dude. Listen, if we get under 3 hours, like, and not 2:58, that'd be miraculous. It's not gonna happen.
No, now that you've said that, your news is gonna take double length.
Don't say that.
So guys, have you ever heard of the game called A Door to the Mists by Ian Eborn? Apparently, this game is a traversal puzzle game and combat in a heroic fantasy setting. So, I wanted to check this one out, just because of the puzzle aspects.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he didn't just make this game and drop it. He's been working on this. What looks like for almost 6 months now. In this most recent update, he reworked the aesthetics. The in-game look was changed, made more clearly stylized and improved, he hopes. Additional content, 2 new small locations, new puzzles in one of those locations, 1 new enemy, 1 collectible, and new lore entries. But he's not showing them because he doesn't want to spoil anything. There's been a variety of tweaks, fixes, and changes. This game's demo is currently available at this link. I apologize, I can't say this link out loud. I'm just gonna paste it here in chat. For those of you watching the podcast in the future, it should be available for you in the timestamps. It's always nice to see an individual working on games, but this has tags that are up my alley. And again, I love coming to TIG Source forums and just pulling the curtain back and seeing some game dev, you know? And that's definitely what this one is. I think I might play this one at some point. This one piques my interests. Door to the Mists. Go get your traversal puzzle and combat all in one over there at twitch.io. My next game here that I found over here, kind of a bit of a, I don't want to say rip-off, but it makes me think of Cyberpunk 2077. Just because it's action, adventure, sci-fi, cyberpunk.
Cuberpunk, it looks like it says there.
I don't know what Cuberpunk is, but...
Cuberpunk, yes! I didn't even see the A at the end there, shit. Cuberpunk.
Perhaps you are wrong and other deities exist. So this game apparently deals with religious concepts? That's not really what I expected when you say action sci-fi. Wait, that looks futuristic. This game might be all over the place. It's apparently on Steam. And it's been out since August 30th. Let me go over here and check this out. Very positive. People aren't mad about this game. It's considered adventure, simulation, action, and 3D over here, which is not what it's calling itself in these TIG forum posts. So that's interesting and different.
The fuck is this?
From everything I've seen, I don't actually know what's going on. Did I hear you say what the F is this? Was that
just
the
song?
Oh, okay.
That I had on there for a second. Sorry.
No, it's alright. It looks like this game has more than one gameplay aspect. And like I said, I don't necessarily know what's going on when they start off their first trailer saying maybe you are wrong, maybe there are other deities or something like that. Like, I'm not sure.
Dead.
I know. I'm all concerned that you might hurt some people's feelings with that concept. But, you know, I don't know what this game is now. I went to Steam and watched the Steam trailer, and I am still super confused. So some of the things it's saying. This is a game where you play as a headhunter employed by mysterious masters whose goals initially seem bizarre and surreal. It will all become clear, though, once our protagonist admits that while the technologies might be changing, the human heart is not. It is exactly the same as it was 2,000 years ago. Okay, it's a blend of sci-fi and fantasy, and exploration of futuristic values. The next heading is The Taste of Metal.
Yummy!
The best-selling book of the future. Collect every chapter of the ultimate novel and discover the fate of romance literature in the cyberpunk age. If you even care, that is. Yeah, this game is trying really hard not to take itself seriously, I feel like, while taking itself altogether too seriously. Am I the only one getting that vibe?
Maybe.
You can go look up the Divine Invasion on your Steam machines. I have more questions than I did when I started this, and I'm not sure if that's the best thing. But this probably won't be the last time for such things on the TIG source forums. But yeah, definitely looks like it's worth a play at least. It's a early access demo on Steam. No, you can buy the game. I'm so confused. You can buy the early access. Okay, that's. All right, that was the Divine Invasion, and now here's my last game.
Wait, what? You have another game? Where did I not get that one again?
Do you want me to direct link you? I'll direct. This game isn't like super fancy or super promising or anything, but on February 15th, this game was posted to the forums. This is the first draft for someone's first game. They call it Stone Forest, and they completed a course in 2D gaming, so they immediately decided to try out their knowledge and practice and release this demo.
You know, this is obviously for a phone, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's for a phone now that I see that. That's the part about that I didn't see initially. Mm-hmm. But it is a platforming type game for your phone, so that's different. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of disappointed that it is a phone game, a little bit.
The reason I don't like phone games is for the exact reason that we see right here. Like a slider back and forth on the screen for moving back and left and right, obviously, and then a jump button, and it's in the middle of shit. Like, I don't know, I was like, what? The buttons are right in the way. Mm-hmm. You gotta make it better than that.
It's the same thing as phone emulation. It's the same exact thing as trying to emulate games, popular games.
Yeah, it happens.
But like I said, this is just one guy. This is his first attempt at making a game. And I kind of wanted to throw it out there.
Wait, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm not saying... I personally don't play Android games. I mean, people who do might love it. But, yeah, it's because of that reason alone that the controls are on the screen that I don't enjoy that.
Other than that, I do want to encourage them as it's their first game.
Yeah.
You could totally take those comments and be like, okay, so I should port this to another system so other people would like to play it. Apparently, it's currently available on itch.io. What? Mm-hmm. At this link. It's called Stone Forest. If I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Unfortunately, this is not a very detailed article. Just wanted to get a different game out there with that one, as I tend to do on the TIG source forums. And this one was, I'm not going to say bottom of the barrel, but it wasn't a great post. So it's hard for me to give you more detail or to like get in depth with anything at all. But sometimes you just, hey, look, this is different. Let's just look at it for 5 seconds. Because that's all we've got. Well, that's going to bring me to my spotlight of the week.
Did you not give me that either? What's going on, Steve?
the spotlight of the week is Graveyard Keeper.
Oh, what? See, I didn't have that. I don't have that up.
I'm sorry. This is... I didn't have a link for it, and that's what went wrong here. So this game, it's been out since 2018. It's had 2 DLCs. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. It has amazing gameplay. Also, you no longer have to sell flesh of dead people to make money, which some people might not be super into, but yeah, so the premise of this game is you get hit violently by a very large truck in reality on your way home to your sweetheart. And so the whole crux of this game is doing everything it takes to get home to the woman you love.
Oh.
Well, your sweetheart. I'm pretty sure it's just sweetheart. I'm going to be playing this after the podcast.
I just gave Steve the expansion for it.
One of the expansions?
Yes.
I think I have them both. I'm not exactly sure, but...
devs are nice.
It's definitely why we're shouting it out here. It was popular on Steam this week, and it reminded me how much I enjoyed it. So, if any of the parts of the podcast that had Graveyard Keeper in it weren't your cup of tea, I apologize, but that's my spotlight for the week. And I hope you guys have all enjoyed my news. I feel like I had a pretty good week, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your news and the good games and stuff. You know those last 2 didn't I know from Steve.
Take Source isn't always going to be great, and yeah, I can't change that.
Yeah,
sorry. Steve
reviewed it on another podcast that we tried to do before that didn't really take off as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he did review it on that, and he's played it a bit too, I think, on stream, so...
I still have no idea what I'm doing, though, for anybody who are in the live audience and curious, so... Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me.
I'm going to turn the podcast back over to the one, the only, the Old World Gamer, master of the Retro Indie Pixels podcast. It's a title I made up just now. I hope he likes it.
I'm trying to find the goddamn... Can I please have this window, please? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Alright. Hi, everybody. So, we are going to go right into the best of Steam. We're going to start out with... I've got 5 games this week. I can't guarantee they're all going to be bangers, but we'll see how it goes. First one's called Airstrife Assault of the Aviators. The reason this one caught my eye is the tags. Difficult, Souls-like. And I'm like, hold on. It's a shmup, but it's a Souls-like? I don't really understand. Anyways, pixel graphics, bullet hell. Use different planes with upgradable parts and numerous weapons. You can mount your planes to destroy your enemies. Discover the world's beautiful atmosphere while fighting experienced aviators. Fly solo or play with your friends and enjoy local co-op. Boo, local co-op. Boo.
No.
A modern reinvented classic. This came out 26th of February 2020. Oh, it's coming out the 26th of February 2021, which is tomorrow. A few hours from now. It says actually approximately 15 hours. So let's watch that first trailer there, Steve.
You go ahead and start it. I'm going to press enter over here. I have to do this. I'm legally obligated. This actually looks really good.
Alright.
3-3, not the timing I expected, but here we go anyway. XD.
XD. Okay, I like that there's customization. That's something that I find they don't put enough into the shoot 'em up games at all. So it's nice to see it. This thing is fast though. You see how fast they're shooting? Holy shit!
I like the art style. I like the customization. I bet Steam's remote play would let you do this.
It could possibly do that, yeah. So it looks decent. I'm actually going to put it on my wish list. It doesn't look terrible. I would probably play it. Wow, Steve, your first segment wasn't enough? Jeez.
I deserve this.
Alright, next game we have there is called Sir Lovelot. Sir Lovelot is on a quest to find the love of his life. Join him in this wacky, tight platformer where impressing cheeky damsels is harder than a heart of stone. This is coming out the 3rd of March 2021. Precision platformer, difficult indie. And we'll watch the trailer. Oh, I like the graphics.
That's why I said, ooh. It started playing before I could stop it, and I was like, why, hello, prettier version of many games that like to kill me.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I don't like those ones where something's chasing you down. It's too much pressure. Anxiety much? Jesus. I like these little levels and rounds, though. It's very nice. Yeah, this is definitely wish listable right now.
Wow, and then you climb up her hair and you get new abilities while holding on to the top of her hair. That's different.
Oh, every time you hold the top of her hair. New abilities every time. Looking forward to that one as well. We're going to probably fly through this night, guaranteed. Because there's not a whole lot to say. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I don't know. I would compare the graphics, the pixel graphics, a lot to... what is that? Celeste.
Yes.
It looks a lot like that in regards to the graphics itself. And it's a lot of... It seems like it's a lot of one-screening... like platforming areas, but I think, again, like Celeste, it will eventually expand, so it's multi-screens. So that's quite nice.
There's another thing, Super Meat Boy. Am I the only one that gets a bit of that Super Meat Boy-esque kind of vibe?
I can see that. But I find Super Meat Boy isn't as pixely.
Yeah, see, I'm talking more about, like, the difficulty than I'm talking the art style, because the art style is super Celeste.
Now, I can agree with that. The way that the jumps were, like the physics of the character and stuff, reminded me a lot of Meat Boy. It wasn't as, like, with Celeste, you kind of were a little bit more floaty, whereas with Super Meat Boy, it's very, like, like, it's... You have control, yes, but it's more, I guess, exact control. Yes, exactly. Like you when you jump so far, you know exactly how far it's going to go. Yeah. With Celeste, it feels like you almost have that little floatingness to it. I don't know if that sounds fucked, but combo between the two games, weird love child. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Everyone loves.
I would put it that way. Yeah, weird love child. Sir Lovelot.
Lovelot.
I added it to the wish list. It's added.
Yeah. See? We're already selling games for you. Our next one's called Terminus. It's a turn-based zombie roguelike.
Oh, hello.
That sounded strange to me, and I had to look at it. So it's a turn-based roguelike game set in the zombie apocalypse. A zombie outbreak occurs, and you have to arrive safely to the terminus where the survivors are gathered. Survive the hunger, the cold, and the zombies to arrive at Terminus. Terminus was also, I'm pretty sure, the name of a town that was in The Walking Dead, so I'm just like... Why? So anyways, let's watch that first trailer.
Why do I get, like, the voxel or, like, 3D pixel? Like, what's...
It's very overhead and like it's turn-based too. So I mean, it's a lot like hack/loot that I was playing before, something like that.
Whoa. Some of this stuff looks really messed up.
Yeah. Okay, the fighting scenes are a little bit different though than most turn-based.
I really want to see some of the fighting here.
It literally just showed a zombie on screen, and you had to like choose what you're going to attack him with and stuff.
Huh. Guy just got out of the box and you could see the like.
It's in Korean? No, don't tell me. Unavailable in your preferred language. See? Dear Steam, why can't I have my stuff show up with like My language only. Like, obviously, I'm not going to want to play in Korean.
No.
Remember all those times I spoke Korean? No? Okay. Didn't think so. So it can't be wishlisted, so anyone out there who can understand what we're saying and is also Korean or can speak Korean, have fun.
That explains why it seems so strange.
Yeah. That's alright. We'll move on to our next one called Six Souls. Jack and his dog Butch must uncover what happened to the Clifford family. That's all it says. 1st of March 2021, indie adventure pixel graphics 2D fantasy. Let's watch the trailer.
Whoa.
Come on. I want to see it already. That's what she said.
Wish listed.
What did it do?
6 souls. Perfect game for success, I was saying.
Well, it doesn't look too bad so far. It kind of gives me that tiny build graphics feeling, like for Graveyard Keeper, for example, or like you know what I mean? Like it feels like what they would do if they actually made platforming games more regularly with that that style, right? Oh my god! Oh, go with your dog! Go! Oh my god! Did he pick up his dog? Okay. I don't know why that freaked me right out.
Wow, that dog just came out of his pants.
No. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you're slightly ahead of me. I see what you're saying now. Oh, sweet! You actually use the dog to do stuff too? Yep.
Jeremy.
Listed.
No, I'm sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Little Bud Peep is talking Terraria vibes. I see that.
Oh.
Do you know what I see there, though? I can see some Rogue Legacy, actually.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that, yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a twinge of that vibe. It's nice. Like right there on that image where you're fighting the Slug King and you're locked in a room with the boss.
The Slug King, whoa. Actually, they did something similar like that on Starbound. Remember? When you're fighting bosses and stuff?
Yeah. There's quite a few games that are like that, but I don't know why that one just
stuck out.
I guess because part of it looks castle-y as well, and that didn't help.
Alright, we have one last game to have a look at here. It's called Slime Fantasy, to search for the lost sword. I definitely want to play this. Just going to put it out there immediately. The slime hero lost his holy sword. Without it, he is just an ordinary slime. Now, he will go on a journey to find his lost sword and return to defend the slime kingdom. I'm going to add it to my wish list. I don't even have to. I just press play. Watch that trailer.
Look at this art style.
Love it.
This reminds me of Downwell, but sideways.
See? Now you see why I'm loving it? I love just the minimal color schemes that they use for this stuff.
It really brings out the details in what they do actually do.
Whoa.
How much do they want for this? It's not
out yet. It comes out the 4th of March, but I can't see it being a ton of money, really.
very Downwell. I'm glad Jeremy thinks so as well. And you don't have to have a great art style if you can accentuate it really good in these old pixel games. Wish list.
Yeah, just the minimal amount of colors with just mostly black, white, and like reds as the main color focus. I don't know, it helps give you an atmosphere. It's nice. I like it.
A good retro atmosphere is a way I could describe that. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. Is that the whole bestest theme? I need more.
That's the best theme this week, Steve. That's all we got. I'm sorry, Mario
They were all
Boy.
good. Yeah.
Alright, so this time we're going to be going into our indie retro news, starting with Bean versus the Animator, blasting enemies in this upcoming Amiga light gun mouse action game. Not often we see light gun games, so this is kind of neat to see. Let me just load that up, mute it. Dude, I don't want to watch 7 minutes of you talking, you jibber jabber. Alright, usually we're giving Amiga Build a heads up, but this time, as an exclusive to his cool Twitch stream, he has contacted us in regards to a rather awesome looking game called Bean vs. the Animator. According to Amiga Build, this is a new game which is coming to an Amiga near you at some point during 2021. That has a really strong vibe to classic arcade flash gun based games such as Terminator 2 Judgment Day. According to the review done by Mr. Bill, Bean vs. the Animator is a flash gun and mouse based Amiga game running on either an Amiga 500 or 1200 with 1 megabit of RAM. The full game, is it 1 megabyte? Megabyte? Why are you using two small M's? Small M, I don't know. Full game will feature 6 kick-ass weapons, 6 levels such as Space, the Moon Surface, the Sea, and the Graveyard, an intro, 2-player support, and a wicked soundtrack to set the theme of the game. So look out for this one, as it will be released this year via the company for just $5.
$5?
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to have a little bit... Okay, I see what they're saying there. Wow, even the skeletons kind of remind me of the Terminators a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But the actual gameplay reminds me more of Punisher for NES, if anyone's ever played that. That's a bit of a... Although the Punisher's not on screen, so I guess, yeah, that would be the difference there. That's a hard fucking game to play, too, by the way. I should watch somebody speedrun that shit. Anyways, we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to move into our next one, which is Mr. Mochi's Delivery Service by Niso Games. An upcoming Amiga platformer gets a new name and test update. So, last time we done the podcast, which was a couple of weeks ago, we actually covered this game, if I'm not mistaken. It just didn't have a name at the time. So it's a charming little platformer. Yeah, you remember, see? It's a charming little platformer that will feature lovely background details, smooth scrolling, coin collection, different enemies, and multiple areas. For those of you who want to know about the changes in this test download, there's an added splash screen, which is temporary, and a menu, seamless transition between areas, different palettes being tested, improvements, and finally there's new fixes. Please note, this will be the last Indie Retro News update regarding Mr. Mochi for a while, as we are holding back till the game is more feature-packed. So they don't want to just keep giving updates, every week saying like, okay, now this has changed, and that. So I don't blame them. We do the same type of thing. Sometimes we'll cover a game and we might come back to it later. One thing that I really like about Steve's section of the podcast is the TIG source forums, because it's literally people who are still developing their games. So it's always nice to see developers still interested in their own games, which lends their audience to have as much focus as they do. So we're going to move on from that. We didn't want to stick here too long because just like them, we're not going to stick around here because we've seen it already a couple of weeks ago.
Can I just remind everyone in the audio part of the podcast, it's really pretty.
Oh god, yeah.
Platform.
It kind of reminds me of Mr. Gimmick. Kind of bright, and even Kirby, for that matter. Mm-hmm. Now, OneLoad 64 Games Collection V2 now released. 1,001 unique games to play via Magic Desk CRT format. So, we've just, if you're looking for lots of great C64 games to play with instant loading and added support of loading screens, then you really should check out StatMat's OneLoad 64 Games Collection V2. A collection featuring 1,001 unique games that are all in Magic Desk CRT format, such as Arnie, Beachhead, Bruce Lee, Commando, and many other fabulous games. The key points of note for this release are, according to StatMat, primary uncrunched games are now in Magic Desk CRT format for even quicker loading. These also support the display of loading screens, which wasn't possible with the original PRG format due to space limitations. The uncrunched PRGs are still included for use when Magic Desk cartridge support is not available on a specific platform or device. Screenshots are now included for all the core games in the collection. Future work is planned to improve these by replacing with larger resolution files, which capture the full C64 screen, including the borders which are used by some games. But for now, there are the traditional 320 by 200. Original cartridge images are now included in extras / original CRTs, thanks to Mayhem for his assistance in putting this together. Other cartridge images of interest, examples of multi-load games converted to CRT format, and etc., are now included in extras / other CRTs. Please see the docs/history.txt and docs/readme.pdf files for more info. I need to get this. See?
1,001 games?
Yep.
I wish they had more pictures. I want to see what their magic cart looks like and stuff.
Well, apparently everyone's super happy about it. It just keeps loading.
1,001 games.
So there's a download link for the collection on the YouTube release video. So if you're interested in that, you can hop over there and grab it.
Okay.
Next, we have King's Valley. Konami's platformer is being developed for the Amiga. Alright, so thanks to a heads up from friends of ours in the Commodore Amiga group, we're being told King's Valley, which is a port of the MSX version first released in 1985, and also an appearance via MS-DOS in the 80s, and as an unofficial port in 2009 on the ZX Spectrum by Retroworks. It will be coming to an Amiga near you thanks to the hard work of Tony Galvez, Narcosound, and coding of MAsoft/GC. Although this is the first announcement for the game that we have come across, going by the Twitter post from Tony, King's Valley is around 90% complete. Coding is via MAsoft/JC, music via Narcosound, graphics by Tony, and will be coming to an OCS Amiga near you at some point in the near future. So yes, certainly wanted to keep an eye out for when it gets an eventual release as a free digital download. That's something I still want to see more people do. I would like to see someone do MSX more regularly on Twitch. That would be fun to watch. I'm sure someone out there probably does it.
I know nothing about MSX, so when you say that...
Comparable to Nintendo.
Wasn't it out just before? I think that's the only detail I know.
Possibly, but it was released by Sony, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Sony made the MSX.
I got you. That looks like fun, though.
Here's one that you might enjoy, Steve.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know how to pronounce this properly. Wilcza Buda. An interactive Amiga adventure gets a Ham 6 demo. If you're following indie retro news last month, you'd read that coming as a complete surprise to us, MC Studio released a demo of their work-in-progress Amiga interactive adventure of Wilcza Buda. Thankfully, the game is progressing well, as due to a recent heads-up from Saberman, we've been told you can download the Ham 6 version. A demo which features more colors, slightly better graphics, and new sounds. Don't know a lot about the developments of this game. It's still fairly vague. But what I do know, going from the website description, is you must go on a journey full of adventures and unexplained situations. Be cunning and try to achieve the main goal of saving your beloved grandma, and on the way you will meet many characters from this and another world. Be careful. The forces of darkness are awake and blood tastes better when it's warm. That's creepy. Oh wow, yeah, it's like a point and click thing. But it's like realistic. Look, Grandpa's lips moving, hold on.
Oh god, there's one game I think of immediately when I see this.
Ah, it's so good.
This makes me think of Harvester, and I'm actually terrified. Why? Grandpa's so scary looking because he's realistic.
And it is
but
also
also
a little trippy.
His mouth flaps are terrible.
Okay, we got two more articles here. The next one is Supremacy 30th Anniversary Edition. Coming to a C64 near you. And this is an Indie Retro News exclusive. So, yeah. We feature a lot of specials on Indie Retro News, but this latest news update for the C64 is sure to excite many.
Hello.
Whoa.
Alex. In Germany, I am also known...
Oh, okay. I think I was just talking about some stuff. Sorry. We've been informed via Facebook as a heads-up tag by Hazemaker64 that the 1990s hit classic of Supremacy by Probe Software and published via Virgin Mastertronic with stunning music by Jerome Tell and David Whitaker will once again be coming to the C64, but this time as a 30th anniversary edition thanks to the hard work of XS. From what we've been told, the XS team behind International Karate's Ultimate Lemmings and Speedball... what? From what we've been told, the XS team behind International Karate's Ultimate Lemmings and Speedball Ultimate, with code by Knight Rider, graphics by Domingo, Z-Salt, Steez86, and idea and direction from Alex. Supremacy Enhanced will not only feature 7 handy trainers. This version of the game will feature mouse support, an animated pixelated intro from the Amiga version, pixelated armor from the training screen thanks to the coding of Domingo, pixelated starbase animation and spaceships from the shop screen, as well as the weapons from the training screen thanks to Z-Salt. Improvements to the... oh my god. This is very hard to read. It's too many commas, goddammit. Put a fucking period in. Improvements to the battle screen such as new digital samples for pause, message, attack, etc. and much, much more. Oh my god. This is a very long article as well. Okay, I'm not getting into all that shit. Alright? They've obviously upgraded a bunch of stuff there and enhanced it and added new features, which is nice. It's a 30th anniversary edition of a game that probably not a ton of people played, or, you know, I haven't. I'm not saying I'm a ton of people, but...
yeah, but a 30th edition that's so enhanced, it makes people like me who have no idea about it super interested.
There you go. See? It actually looks like it could be a very interesting game, though.
I want to play this.
That is I did not know that one. See? Sometimes I don't go and read all my articles either, Steve. and when they're like fucking 5 pages long, it's like, alright, maybe we won't go too much more into that. So we'll go to our last article instead, which is Text Adventure Literacy Jam. What do you think of that? Create a text adventure game suitable for children with no prior experience. So see if Digi was here. Yo, text adventure for kids, dude.
Oh, dude,
do it up.
I could so give him concepts for that too. Oh, Digi! I'm sorry. This looks interesting and different. Like, how are you getting these kids interested? Let's get into this.
So, as from February 25th, there will be the launch of the Text Adventure Literacy Jam, a brand new creation contest to develop an old-school text adventure game that is suitable for children with no prior experience. Oh, for children with no prior experience. Okay. I thought it meant like the developers wouldn't have it. Anyways. A game that encourages text adventure authors to write a fun game such that can guide children age 8+ so they can play unassisted, or that younger children can play with a parent or trusted adult. Yes, indeed, if you loved adventure games whereby specific type commands such as go north result in the correct or incorrect choice and a further advancement of the story, then look no further than this latest competition. As in this competition, I'm sure it will be filled with great games to play from around the world that can be played with both the young and old. Prizes include the best overall scores, Raspberry Pi 400, Raspberry Pi 4 2GB, Classic Adventure Special Edition, Raspberry Pi Pico, and even a Pico 8 license.
Wow.
So, you're giving out a couple of different things there. I wasn't... my smiles, but... What? Yeah, I wasn't aware if any of these game jams and competitions actually featured prizes. Maybe they always did, and I just wasn't aware. But that's kind of neat that they're doing that.
This game is going to find its way onto my computer, and when my daughter is old enough.
It's not done yet. This is just a game in general. They're talking about this is a competition.
Oh, the jam? Oh, well, then these games is gonna get.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a lot of these on Indie Retro News once it's actually over, because it ends up usually coming under, which is not a bad thing because we get to see a pile of good games then. So, but that's it. We're done with Indie Retro News for this week, and our next article was actually brought to me by Mr. Six himself. Final Fantasy VII Remake gets significant PlayStation 5 Intergrade update. And he's like, oh, I think you should cover this. And I'm all like, what?
If the article doesn't talk about specifically what I wanted him to cover, I will make sure he understands.
Okay. Sony sold more than 100 million PlayStation 4 consoles, but only a fraction of it has picked up certain standout beloved hits like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now Sony and Square Enix are working to ensure players have reasons to go back to that game on PlayStation 5 with the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade update launching June 10th. As part of the PlayStation State of Play video event today, Sony revealed that Final Fantasy VII Remake owners will get the upgrade for free. Excuse me, my god. Square Enix already revealed Final Fantasy XVI is coming exclusively to PlayStation 5, and the publisher also has Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 in the works. The companies are likely expecting this move could expand the appeal of those upcoming Final Fantasy games beyond the 5 million people who showed up for Final Fantasy VII Remake. During Sony PlayStation State of Play event today, Square Enix revealed a huge update for Final Fantasy VII Remake. This includes new content and characters like Yuffie. A new trailer showed off Yuffie's high-flying combat style and interactions with other characters. Yuffie is getting her own episode within the game. Sony has showed improved visuals from the PS5 version, including a higher resolution, improved effects, and textures. The trailer also showed better fog, lighting, and more. Final Fantasy VII Remake is also getting new quality of life features like faster loading, new frame rate options, and classic difficulty settings. Correction, an earlier version of this story referred to Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS Plus. That was done in error. That's it, we're done.
It doesn't refer to anything else there?
No, that's it.
So there were two other FF7 related remake related pieces of news. They're taking the FF7 style and they're making a first-person shooter where you can do physical attacks and have your magic and do your summons.
Oh, okay. That kind of sounds like what they were trying to do with that Vincent Valentine Final Fantasy, Dirge of Cerberus.
Yes, it's actually very close. And then the other thing that's missing, the other very important thing, is they're going to put the whole series of the Final Fantasy VII games together in a bundle, and they're going to remake the original content, but basically chibi-fied. So they're going to do a different HD remake on top of this style of remake. So I apologize, I could not find articles that had those details, but they had two FF7 related remake things that went along with this that were really amazing on top of the Intergrade update itself. I'm going to turn to Rimley here. If you have information on either of those things in an article that we could use here in the cast, that'd be great, because he's like the best part is missing, so he must have been excited for the same things I was. I couldn't find more details on those things myself. But those are the reason why I wanted you to cover this. Specifically the chibi-fied HD remake. I call it that, but that's not really... I don't...
Okay, you did cover everything. Good.
Okay.
Alright, so I do have some more news here from Destructoid, and they're a little different. Some stuff is cool and what you'd expect. The other stuff is different. You'll see. First is how to grab a free singing Pikachu in Pokemon Sword and Shield. A lot of us are already playing that, so might as well put it in there and find out how we do this, right? So it's an
get it.
easy mystery gift giveaway. At the very least, you're getting one that doesn't sport a hat this time around. In fact, it will use Sing, Encore, Celebrate, and Electro Ball with a Lightning Rod ability and a Light Ball item. Starting today, you can grab a show-stopping Pikachu in your game, which has the exclusive move Sing. Yes, it's a singing Pikachu. It still looks the same. To get it, just load up the mystery gift portion of the game and enter P25MUS1C. So basically, Pokemon 25th Anniversary music. So P25 MUS1C for those listening at the podcast later. And that way you can get yourself a singing Pikachu. And that's it. It's fairly simplistic, but I mean, hey, it's a different kind of Pikachu. Now you probably want to give it a name so that you don't I don't want this extra Pikachu. I've already got 3, and then you just delete it and you're like, no, it's my singing one. Yeah, okay. So make sure you give it a good name.
Mr. Rimley might have more information on the remake stuff there.
I would call mine Celine Dion, personally. That's just me.
I would call mine Rip-Off Jigglypuff, except there's not enough letters for that. Art Pikachu. I'm sorry, you're not supposed to know Zing! Okay, moving on.
The FPS, this is a prequel mobile battle royale. What the fuck?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The FPS is
all on mobile?
It's all on. That's the only unfortunate part about it. I didn't forget. There's some great concepts. Maybe they're trying to get us into mobile. Maybe they're good enough that there'll be something. I don't know.
Record Keepers is good enough for mobile. That's all I needed, really.
That's fair. That's really fair.
Steve, speaking of spending money and things that we want from earlier, Stardew Valley, the board game exists, and it's on sale starting the 23rd of February. Playable alone or in 4-player co-op. The hard-to-put-down farming sim Stardew Valley has been reinterpreted as a board game. The project is a collaboration between game creator Eric Concerned Ape Barone and designer Cole Medeiros. And after 2.5 years, it's done, ready to be bought for $55 in the United States. I really want this. Oh God!
Look, your in-game waifu is staring at you there, Penny.
She's not. Listen, that was only from the one game we played, dude. Originally, it was what's her name with the purple hair?
Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah.
I like her.
This looks amazing.
So you can play alone or with up to 3 players, and you'll want to set aside about 45 minutes per player. If you're opting to play the standard experience, a full in-game year, the rulebook is posted at a link that they have there. Much like its video game counterpart, Stardew Valley, the board game, is all about rallying with the humble community, gaining items and skills along the way. Except in this case, you have to drive out Joja. To win, you'll need to complete 4 of Grandpa's goals and restore 6 community-centered rooms. The goals can be things like catching 1 legendary fish per player, reaching the bottom of the mines, or donating 2 items to the museum per player. In other words, everything scales up. Goals and bundles require more effort when there are more players, but you'll also have more actions as a team according to the rules. Also, yes, you can and should give gifts to the villagers. Here we go again. The rules can be modified for more or less complexity, including seedling, honest farmer, and artisan modes. The creators also say the game is easily playable solo, which is fantastic to hear. That's actually really cool. And this on the day it was announced. Listen, I married Abby first. I married Penny late. Asked about how in stock Stardew Valley the board game will be going forward, Concerned Ape said, if there's more demand for it, then we'll definitely do more print runs, and maybe slowly expand. We're just kind of testing the waters for now and see what the response is. It's produced by Delano Games. Update, the first printing of Stardew Valley the board game is sold out, according to Concerned Ape. We're working on getting a second printing started, and I'll let you know when there are updates. As for the current shipping restriction, we are working to make this available outside the US, but because of the complexity involved in the moment, we're still figuring out the details. I'm not typically a board game player, at all, but this seems like a great match. That's from the person. That's the author, not me. Yeah, I want this so bad. Steve hands above the desk. You married Shane? Oh, of course you married Shane.
Yeah, I was expecting that response. Also, I put my hands above the desk, but my jaw was like almost on the top of the desk. Like, it was worse than not seeing my hands. Well, I can't believe this. This is...
I told you. I had some good articles from Destructoid today. So, let's keep the emotional roller coaster going of awesomeness.
Oh, no.
Next, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons Manga heading westward later in 2021. Publisher Viz Media has announced that it is currently in the process of translating the manga adaptation of Nintendo's delightful social sim Animal Crossing New Horizons. The English edition of Animal Crossing New Horizons... my God, what is with my mouth? The English edition of Animal Crossing New Horizons Deserted Island Diary, that's fucking long, is expected to launch in the West this fall, with pre-orders now open on the first volume via various book retailers. You alright? Oh, there you go. Get a neck crack in there, buddy.
Yep.
First two volumes of Kokona's Rumba's manga adaptation were released in Japan in 2020 and also featured in the popular monthly magazine Koro Koro. As it's to be expected, the manga tells of the exploits of a selection of villagers. They build new lives for themselves on one of many Nook Islands. Of course, popular characters such as Tommy and Timmy, Seabird Gulliver, and Clumsy Spectre Wisp all put in appearances. Meanwhile, back in the digital realm, the Switch edition of Animal Crossing New Horizons is preparing for New Horizons. I'm like trying to say it too fast or something. Is preparing to receive a selection of in-game goodies celebrating the new Mario Bros. Franchise, which we talked about earlier, include a selection of cosplay outfits, decorations such as thwomps and Koopa Trooper shells, and even a pair of working warp pipes. That's the most important one, in my opinion. Get to the store fast, get home fast.
I had a feeling that this was going to be mentioned because you said you had some Animal Crossing news, so I didn't go into full specifics. The warp pipes is amazing. Okay, I got that out of my system.
Oh, and you know I'm going to want a copy of these books. Yeah, so more stuff to waste money on. Anyways.
Not anyways. I heard you like Animal Crossing. Have a manga! Okay.
It's too much, man. Yeah, no, I love the art style, too. Like, the colors are light, but, like, heavy cell shading.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing I have from Destructoid tonight...
Uh-oh.
Twisted Metal TV show coming from the folks behind Cobra Kai and Deadpool. Anyone who's ever played Twisted Metal are probably going to be all like, this is going to be fucking sick. Buckle up for safety, because it appears that Sweet Tooth and his maniacal pals are revving their engines once again. But this time David Jaff's violent world of Twisted Metal has been given the green light in a whole other fashion, joining the growing line of video game IPs getting a TV adaptation. As reported by Variety, the Twisted Metal TV series will be an action comedy set in a post-apocalyptic universe, where down-and-out loser is offered a better life provided they can transport a mysterious package across the wastelands, teaming with bands of marauders and other eccentric characters. All very Mad Max. While the cast list is still on the ground, the woefully edgy serial killer clown Sweet Tooth is confirmed to be putting in an appearance, driving his horrifying ice cream truck through what remains of humanity. Produced by Sony Pictures Television and PlayStation Productions, which is a thing, Twisted Metal will be written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, the duo who penned horror comedy Zombieland and the violent comic book actioner Deadpool. Sounds like a good fit. Michael Jonathan Smith, producer of Karate Kid spin-off series Cobra Kai, is on board as executive producer. This to be really good. I hope they do it right. They've been doing stuff right more recently with this kind of stuff, so let's hope so. Originally launched in 95, the Twisted Metal series follows a group of outcasts as they battle to the death in vehicular bloodsport. The prize being the winner's greatest wish, granted by Doomsday executive Calypso. While some series entries, such as 96 Twisted Metal World Tour and 2001's Twisted Metal Black, are particularly notable, the series has had more than its fair share of duds, such as 99's Awful Twisted Metal 4. With the series in hiatus, the new show could see the way paved for a fresh sequel. I certainly hope so. I agree with the author. I would love to see a sequel. Twisted Metal Black was a shit ton of fun.
Okay, can someone try and help me here? I played a lot of the demo of Twisted Metal on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Was it actually just Twisted Metal? Maybe it was the demo for Twisted Metal Black or Twisted Metal 4. I can't remember.
Twisted Metal Black was for PS2.
Okay. I just know that it was one of the best demos I ever played in my whole life. So the fact that we're talking about Twisted Metal stuff here, I'm just going to throw that on the pile of Twisted Metal conversation. Yeah, I don't talk about demos much, but so when I say stuff like that, it's like, wow, yeah. So seeing more of the most violent kind of gameplay I've ever seen, but in a TV show, yes. I'm ready.
Alright, and we're going to move into our Kickstarters now.
No.
I'm going to just refresh them, just because we might as well. They always take a moment or two. Be ready for this one, Mr. Steve. Roots of Pacha. Farm in the Stone Age with friends.
No.
Be a part of a thriving Stone Age community. Join friends in this farming and life sim game set. Oh, now it's just refreshing? Fuck you. Stupid game. Simulation game set in the early days of civilization. They are looking for 43,765 or at 66,912. They have 1,100 backers, 27 days to go. They're already good to go, so let's watch the trailer. In less than 24 hours, by the way.
We are the children of Pacha. For years, we roamed her lands looking for food and shelter.
Oh, that's amazing.
Forever. With the first snowflakes, we found a place to settle. A place that we now call home. Once spring came, we explored the wilderness. The seeds we found took root and flourished. The animals became our friends. Well, maybe not all of them. We discovered new ways.
This game is very slow moving. Jeremy is right to point that out, Mr. Game Hunter.
It doesn't look that bad.
Into a canvas, and our hands.
Stop bitching, Jeremy. God.
Oh, you can expand the village. So, Civ and Stardew? I like it.
I don't think they move that slow. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh wow, on the ostriches, they're booking.
Oh yeah. It's no worse than Stardew Valley, I don't think.
Some people have lag in Stardew Valley, though.
True.
Was there painting? Did I just see painting? Oh my gosh. Irrigation?
Why? I knew there was going to be fish, and I was just hoping it would show it.
We looked at this before?
Of course.
What, when?
I want to be a farmer. I want to help too.
I don't feel like we looked at this one before.
If we did, it didn't look this good.
Maybe with the efforts of everyone, piece by piece, we'll build something to stand for generations.
Yeah, it's been improved, yeah. Alright, so yeah, a lot like Stardew Valley, but a lot more things. Like, first thing they show here was the irrigation. That's new. The thing where you're dancing around a fire and stuff. It seems like there's
expanding the village. Sorry, go ahead.
It almost seems like community is the biggest focus of this, not being by yourself on a farm. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, not that that's a bad thing or anything for Stardew, but I mean, it's nice that it sets itself apart by, yeah, we're a little bit like Stardew Valley, but we also want to be pushing more of a community feel and working towards, you know, doing things for the community. Like, what's it called? Like, okay, we need to gather firewood for the big center, you know, fire that's going, or, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, it looks like it's, I have it wish listed. I probably do. We probably did cover this before, but we did not cover a Kickstarter. And, yeah, this looks fantastic. So let's look at the different backings over here. Digital copy of the game will run you $25 US, 32 Canadian. Soundtrack, exclusive wild boar? Oh, that you can tame in-game, I guess. Beta access, ostrich as well. Printable coloring book. That's actually kind of nice. Second digital copy of the game. Oh no, guys. No, okay, I'm not going to throw them. No, there's.
They get bad,
dude. Okay, including the $1 reward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh my god. There's almost 20. There's 19 different fucking things. Ugh. And I mean, don't get me wrong, a crocheted mammoth or guanaco. A postcard for one of the romanceable characters, an embroidery of your... Like, yes, some of the stuff you have is cool, but a lot of the shit you have there is just, it's too much. Like, you're better off getting a fan gamer account or, you know, thing or whatever, and then when all this is, like, said and done, release a bunch of that shit on there that people can buy and make extra money. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the extra awards and stuff. It's just when you have all of these extra, like, tier awards, it's too much. Way too much. And I mean, it's nice not to have early bird stuff, but Jesus Christ, early bird stuff for everything? Fuck. But I mean, I guess they do care about their the people who are going to be playing. They want to make sure that people have options, I suppose. But yeah, I just want to go down through these real quick again, just to see what other fun stuff they have there. Alpha access every 8 weeks. That's actually not bad. Ancient Patchen Cookbook digital copy. Embroidery of your choice, 6 patterns available, 3 enamel pins. Crocheted mammoth or guanaco. And a love postcard from the one of the romanceable characters. Design a hairstyle. Design a set of furniture. Yeah, like some of these, design an outfit. Design a new animal. Design an NPC. Design a clan. Design a festival. Like, it's too much, in my opinion. It's just me. But other than that, the game actually looks fantastic. I love the look of it. I love what their thoughts are behind it, what they're going to allow us to do, the differences between that and other similar games and stuff. That's quite nice.
I want to see more of this game.
Yeah, it looks like you can almost pick up almost anything. Like, there's a lot of different stuff you can do in this. I love that. Alright, we're going to move on to our last Kickstarter, and then we got some indie dev help. Our last one is called PRIM, a 2D adventure game about Death's daughter. I also feel like I may have talked about this game before, I just don't know. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. No problem, dude. Explore the realm of the dead in our creepy but cute game inspired by LucasArts, Tim Burton, Terry Pratchett, and Greek mythology. They're looking for 26,645. They have 20 days to go. They're already at 40,381. So let's watch the trailer. Oh.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Jonas. I'm adventure games.
It looks like
Let's give this another try.
could be a point-and-click game, Sir Steve.
PRIM. A drop-dead, charming, creepy but cute point-and-click adventure
Yep,
game.
point-and-click and maybe.
Too long for you? No problem.
I like it.
Put this way. Imagine Monkey Island, but Tim Burton made the art. That space who receives a call for help from a human daughter. Unfortunately, her father would never allow her to travel to
That's a good way of putting it, though. A game like Monkey Island, but with the art style of Tim Burton.
What kind of...
I get that, yeah.
Just great.
You can already play our demo, which is...
This is not on Steam currently, so I
No,
I
there is a
can't
demo,
always
though.
use it.
Baby, I'm much too old for rocking horses.
And they got funded in 22 hours.
It's the art style. People love the art style.
Oh, God, yes.
8 hours. We're confident that we'll be able to release it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like the Tim Burton
Sounds pretty
art style.
ambitious, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So, all texts are translated into German, so that means, I guess, German people can also play it. English voice acting at 30,000 euros. Who's that girl? Na 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 na. Strange things are happening in the realm of the dead. Instead of reaping souls, Thanatos, the angel of death, has to deal with his teenage daughter Prim. Every night, Prim has the same dream. An oddly familiar human boy cries out for her help. Needless to say that our heroine tries to answer the call. There's just one tiny problem. The Grim Reaper has strictly forbidden her to enter the land of the living. She's not ready for the immense power she developed there, he claims. Unfortunately, when Prim finds a way to trick her father and travel to Earth, it painfully turns out that Thanatos' presentiments have been right all along. At its core, Prim is a story of a father learning to let go and a girl finding out who she really is. But it's also a thrilling adventure full of magic and darkness. On her journey, Prim repeatedly has to switch between the realm of the dead and land of the living, where she faces demons, real ones and ones within herself, while always being accompanied by her sidekick, an eye with spider legs. Ew. People are going to love that. So let's go and have a look. I thought you said the Cream Reaper. Ew. Jesus. Let's see the tiers. Doesn't look like he went overboard, which is nice. Oh my god. 16 euros, 25 Canadian for the game. Okay, yeah, copy the game. Let's see what else. An art book download. Excuse me again. Your name and credits appear in the game inside the Book of the Dead. When the campaign ends. Okay, here we go. Oh wow, that just jumped up a lot. So it went from 41 euros and 63 Canadian for the appear in the game inside the Book of the Dead to 379 euros or $578. That will get you your name and credits. Handmade Coffin Deluxe out of oak wood. Handmade Prim Doll Deluxe, which is big. Get drawn in the style of Prim in your portrait on a playing card. Skype session with the team members. Personalized animated thank you video dubbed by our voice actress. Handwritten thank you letter from the team members. Okay, so see, that is a more fun tier. And that is their top tier, by the way. So they didn't jump too high. They just had some early bird stuff before that. So €13, 20 Canadian, you get, that's the early bird. The Daughters Deluxe early bird. And the casket case. Okay, so they actually had that as a limited edition for 30 people to get the handmade coffin with cottonwood, not with oak. And then you could also get the murder doll, which is a handmade PRIM, a small one. Girl in a box, handmade PRIM doll, small, and she's in a coffin. In-game playing card. Become an in-game playing card physical. And Lady and Lord of Darkness. So you get both different types of coffins, both dolls, drawn with the portrait and a playing card, Skype session, personalized animated thank you video, handwritten thank you letter from the team members, and never-ending gratitude, which, well, of course. 5 people actually backed that at 730 Canadian. So,
wow.
Yep, no, people love it. And like you said, honestly, I'm pretty sure it is the art style. People love this Tim Burton stuff so much that, yeah, when they see something like this, they jump all over it.
People are used to seeing bright, happy scenes. This is the exact opposite of that. People are drawn to what there's not enough of, therefore.
Well, quite honestly, we don't have that many games with that art style to begin with. The only one, the first one that comes to mind over anything else, really, is Hollow Knight. That's the only one. And that's only because the entire game itself is basically black and white. Like, it's all dim, dark colors. So, no, it's nice to see something like that for a change. So, so the last thing we have for this week is some indie dev help. I only have 3 articles here, 3 different games that we're going to look at. They're all on Steam. The first one, I was actually contacted by the devs for this, the Tress Brothers. They let me know that they have a bundle on right now, the Old School Fantasy RPGs bundle, which is 25% off now at $44.59 Canadian. That includes Balram, an open-world RPG, Heroes of the Steel, a turn-based RPG, Exile Kingdoms, an isometric action RPG, and Fall of the Dungeon Guardians, which is the original first-person gameplay. This tile-based dungeon crawler. So yeah, you're getting 4 games there that are totaled to be about $60, and you're getting them for about $45. So you're saving about $15 off, which is not too bad. And a lot of those games, I have 2 of them already on my wish list. So if I have them on my wish list, they're probably not terrible games. And the other 2 I probably just didn't see. Now the tile-based one, the Fall of the Dungeon Guardians, DMP and Blind Man would love that. They've probably already played it, to be quite honest. So, and then of course Heroes of Steel is one of these like overhead. It almost looks like it's turn-based as well. Yeah, no, that's not a bad bundle for old school fantasy RPGs. The next game we have here is called Geneforge 1 Mutagen. And I feel like we may have covered this. I'm not 100% sure, but I had to have a look at this with you guys again. It is currently 15% off at $19.37. It literally came out yesterday. Alright. So, unique, truly open-ended fantasy adventure in a strange new world. Use battle or cunning to change the world. Served by your own army of custom-made mutant monsters. Over 80 zones to explore and 50-plus hours of gameplay. Multitudes of skills, abilities, factions, treasures, and servants to create. This is a CRPG, dungeon crawler, RPG, turn-based. Let's just watch the trailer real quick. You are a shaper. You create life. You are making a dinosaur. It's pink as fuck.
By the way, wishlisted.
Yes, I forgot about that. I will be wishlisting this as well. And I'm pretty sure if I want to, I can request a copy of this game if you'd like to play.
Yeah, I would love to do this on one of the After the Cast streams. This would be perfect for...
All right, I'll message and let them know.
I will do this. This is a thing. I've been really waiting for a game that has these turn-based RPG things and is very customized. So this is literally like I could spend a lifetime on this game.
It looks pretty good, to be honest with you. I know I'd play too. I know I won't ever have the time. I know you will. So
Yes.
if you're going to give it... And I like that it has a mini-map and stuff too, so you're not just getting lost. And it's not like the big overlay like they have in Diablo.
Which is very important because then it's easier to keep track of the map and where you are on it, which the whole purpose for using the darn thing. Man, I want this game right now. Can it be next week so I'm playing this game? Dang it. Why wasn't this on the best of Steam?
Because it was an indie dev help. I wanted to make sure that people see that like these people came to me and said, "Hey, can you feature our game?"
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. That's the thing. If developers want to come over and message us via Twitter at OWGamer or at 6sevcyrus, you're more than welcome to message us, and usually we're fairly easy to get along with, unless your game is garbage or is for Android, iOS a lot of times, because we just don't cover a lot of that stuff. More than likely we're going to take a look at it and feature it, because why not? It's nothing, we're not losing anything. If anything, we're gaining. You're giving us an option to play your game, and in return all we have to do is talk about it on our podcast. So I'm fine with that. That's a great trade-off.
I gotta go back to like one of the pictures here. I'm looking at the skills and training and abilities and stuff, and that image literally looks like a D&D page, and I'm like, whoa.
I like that overhead map kind of look that they had there too.
It's really pretty. Okay, I can't look at this anymore. Like
Okay, last thing we have, Steve. Occultus Command. So again, this is the dev got a hold of me and wanted me to have a look at this. It is the year 3260. A cosmic storm named Father's Wrath threatens to end life on Earth's upper layer. The surest way to survive Father's Wrath is to escape underground to a world called Occultus. Information on the incoming storm and Occultus is encrypted, hidden, and monitored. This came out the 13th of January, so it's newly released. Let's watch that first trailer.
This is a little faster paced than I expected.
Yeah. Dynamic two-player action. See.
Oh, wow. That was so dynamic that it was too dynamic. I'm not sure what the two-player thing did there, but I kind of understand that you had a two-player thing happen.
The demo is available right now, and you can buy the game for $11.50.
Does this feel a little Mega Man-ish to you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? There's another thing I'm getting it, and it's Dead Cells, excuse me.
Yeah.
Because of the glow in the eyes.
I'm not a huge fan of the animation of the character itself. Maybe that's just me.
No, you're right. That character is very, like, plain, and then the animations for his movement don't really... Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's very rigid, and sometimes it's fun. It's this whole... what would you call it? I've said it before. It's almost like parts of the characters are made of paper, and so they're stuck being a certain way, like they don't move. I don't know. It seems like there's too many frames, maybe. Again, I don't even know exactly how to put it, but there's something about the animation that I don't like, particularly. But again, that could be just me. For anybody else out there, they might love it. So, all right. So that is it for us this week. We are all done. It was a fantastic podcast. It was shorter than I imagined, up to 2.5 hours now, so that's not too bad. Covered a lot of great stuff. A lot of unexpected stuff too.
A lot.
And then next we also have Mr. Steve. He's going to be playing Graveyard Keeper on his channel at 67 Cyrus. So you guys might want to make sure you check out his channel, Graveyard Keeper, on his channel at 67. You're supposed to mute. Friggin' get out of here. Anyways, just head over to Steve's channel, and you can probably watch him play some Graveyard Keeper tonight. I'm just trying to look up who we're going to host this week. You know what? I haven't hosted them before, so we're going to host up Moonbeam Arcade. I'm pretty sure it's just Pete over there playing a game. He is playing... Yep. Temujin, 1997 PC game. So... yeah, you can go over there and enjoy that. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It is a pleasure. Have yourselves a good evening. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Thank you all for joining us.
I was about to say bye, Steve. God.
Doing it.
All right. Well, yes, we would like to raid instead. Thank you. I was hosting. What a jerk. Good night, Mr. Rimley and Game Hunter, and everybody else. Have yourselves a good evening. Bye-bye.